Welcome to the Bucs Gambling Show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Wild card round, upsets to bet. I'm ready to go. We've been slanging them all year. First game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. Steelers plus 10. I get it. Steelers money line is plus 410. It's an upset. It's an upset for the reason. But I'm looking at the circumstances of this game. I'm looking at a Bills team that's banged up. I'm looking at a Buffalo environmental condition. We're going to have 40-mile-per-hour winds. I think that is a big advantage for the Steelers. Now, we know the Steelers are going to be without T.J. Watt. That is an absolute body blow, and it's not going to help. But I will go back to the 40-mile-per-hour winds. And at a certain point, there's only so much wind a quarterback can take. And we know Josh Allen has one of the strongest arms this league has ever seen. But there's only so much you can do when a 50-mile-per-hour gust comes in, and I don't know even if Favre's arm could cut and bullet through that. So I think this will turn into a physical game. I think this will turn into the type of game where we see a lot of running the football, where we see more of the ugly aspects of the game. And can I ask everyone something? Who has more pressure in this game to win? I feel like the Steelers are rolling in here playing on house money. Everyone knows they're not too good. Everyone knows they have Mason Rudolph at quarterback. No one expects anything out of them, and that's when teams are dangerous. That's when teams are at their most dangerous, when there's no pressure, let it fly, trick plays, Mike Tomlin. I like the Mike Tomlin versus McDermott matchup. I do, and I'm not saying the Steelers' offense has gotten more creative, but they've certainly been playing better, and this is a Bills team that comes in a little bit wounded. I get it. Let's give them a round of applause for beating the Miami Dolphins for the AFC East title. They do deserve this seed, but I'm looking at no Taylor Rapp, probably no Rasul Douglas. Dotson's banged up. Deion Dawkins is banged up. Gabe Davis looks like he won't play. And when you list off those names, you do wonder, are the Bills ready to get this fight? This game will be a fight. It will be a backdoor brawl, and that's something the Steelers shine in. I'm not saying go bet the money, go bet the house on the Steelers plus 10 or money line. But what I am telling you, this will be a close game. This will be closer than the experts think. I think Steelers can do this, man. Outside shot for an upset here. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Bucs. Bucs plus 3. I think the Bucs win this game. I think this is an Eagles team coming in here with 2 broken wings, and it's just a matter of time until this Eagle hits the ground and just explodes. And that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at an Eagles team that just seems out of ideas, whether it be coaching on the offensive side, whether it be giving the play calling duties to Matt Patricia for a defense that just simply hasn't stopped anyone in 6-7 weeks. And games like that Giants game, I think it's not just like, oh, next week we're worried about Tampa Bay. When Tyrod Taylor and a poor Giants team slaps you around like a redheaded stepchild, I think that has an effect. I think that has some carryover, and we're looking at a Philadelphia Eagles team with little to no confidence. And we're also looking at an Eagles team where Hurts is banged up, man, and that middle finger did not look right. We know that's going to have an effect in the game. We're looking at A.J. Brown banged up, DeAndre Swift banged up, Darius Slay banged up. That's a lot of good players who might not play in this game. And we got a Bucs team. I'm not as high on them as the rest of the public, of the rest of the fans on this page. But one thing we know about the Bucs, they're physical. And Todd Bowles isn't going to give this game to the Eagles. They're going to have to earn it. And I'm not sure the Eagles can do that. And I know the Tampa Bay offense has been rather slow and sluggish the last 2 weeks. But if you look at Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, I feel like Baker Mayfield can cook here. And we've all talked about the Eagles secondary the whole year. I think we started talking about that week 2 or 3. But the thing that is scaring me about this Eagles defense is the lack of pass rush. I know Jalen Carter's playing well, but outside of him, who's winning battles? Who's coming off the edge to harass Baker? And I know Baker's got that bad shoulder, but I feel like another week's rest, another Toradol shot, he'll be able to do just enough. And can I ask you guys a question? How much does Baker really need to do with the way this Eagles offense is playing? I'm not sure with Vita Vea in the middle, we're going to see some sort of renaissance of the Eagles running game that was so dominant for the last 3 seasons. I'm just not sure we're seeing it, and I'm not sure about the psychology of this Eagles team. Yes, they're back up against the wall, and I know animals are dangerous when they're up against the wall. I just don't know if they've responded, and I think they were beaten last week against the New York Giants. They go down to Florida. I don't think that's going to help them. I like the Buccaneers in this game in a grinder. This won't be pretty. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Kansas City Chiefs. Dolphins plus 4.5. Every puncher's got a chance, right? And I hate to use boxing terminology, but that's how I feel about this game. Obviously, the Dolphins are not at their high tide rolling into this game. They're not. They don't even have a fucking edge rusher. The 4 of them are injured. So we know what Vic Fangio is up against. He's up against the god Pat Mahomes, and that's why we use the word upsets, because it's not obvious. But I don't know why everyone's just quickly counting Miami out of this game. I don't know why everyone's just burying Miami and saying they're going to lose by 30. We saw them almost beat the Bills in Buffalo with Skylar Thompson as quarterback in the last playoffs. I don't think this Miami team is out of fight. I don't think this Miami offense is out of bite. I believe Jalen Waddle will play. And when you have dogs like Tyreek the Thrill Hill, Jalen Waddle, you never want to count the team out. And I think one thing people are forgetting about, listen, I know Miami's not going to have an edge rush, and you don't like blitzing against Mahomes. That's a recipe for disaster, and he'll pick you apart. I get it. But one area I think the Dolphins can win a battle is I like Zyler, I like Christian Wilkins, up the middle, 3-5 technique. I think they can make some hay there, and I think they can get some pressure. And that gives them just enough of a fighting chance. And I do wonder, was Mike McDaniel saving some shit for the playoff game? Did he go with his full arsenal? Did we see the full creativity of his playbook and scheme? I'm not trying to sound like I'm his lawyer or making excuses for him, but I do wonder, does he have something saved in that back pocket? Are we going to see something special in the playoffs? And the weather is another thing that tilts this in the Chiefs' factor. But everyone's acting like this is like the 1988 Bill Parcells Giants team that wants to run it. We know the Chiefs aren't the team that is made for cold weather. They're going to struggle as well. And I just wonder which team can make the big plays. Which team has the more playmakers? And when you bring in those factors, I would not count the Miami Dolphins out, and I don't think they've quit. I don't think they're down for the count. I'm not saying Miami's going to go in and win this game, but I do believe they covered the spread, and that's kind of an upset in itself. Like, I'm seeing people saying, oh, Mahomes going to win by 30. Bury the Dolphins before they even get to the game. I'm not burying him before the game. And it's the same thing last year. Remember when everyone's saying Tua should retire? Remember when everyone was saying that? I was the only one who said, no, he shouldn't. If he wants to play football, he should play football. I think we see a resilient performance, an Alamo-type performance. The Dolphins might be too shorthanded to turn this into a win, but I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised if they pull this thing off. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet.